Hello. All right. Good evening, ladies and gents. Good evening. Good evening. How everybody doing? Hope everybody had a good weekend. I said a good week, shall I say? I know I did. Was kind of under the weather on Wednesday. Left work early, and I came home try to knock this little cold, as you should say, I guess. But I'm a little better, much better. I even actually got on the podcast on Wednesday. Did a little bit of talking. Just wasn't as long as I usually be, but it was good. But today we're gonna dive into something that's important. Some people try to you know look over it. The topic today is change. Change is something can be beneficial to your life. Some people think changing can be a downfall in your life. But you got to look at it. You have failures, and then you have success. So, how do we become successful in decision making? You got to make the right decision based on the circumstance. Every circumstance is not good, so you got to make the wise decision. But how do we do that? How do we make wise decisions when sometimes we're not taught how to make the correct decision based on the circumstance, based on the situation? And it's important to have certain people around you. You know what I'm saying? And when you have those encouraging, inspiring, uplifting people around you, then those could be the ones who help you make wise decisions. You know what I'm saying, and not the irrational decisions based on your circumstance or your situation. So you got to look at those things like that. But when you got a bunch of negative people around you, then you're not going to have a bunch of success. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, success and failure, success and misery. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all they doing. That's all they want. They want that negative energy. So negative energy is just it draws, it pulls you down, it has a weight on you, it just suck you like what I'm saying, negative energy. And you want to be around positive people. You know what I'm saying? These are the people that can help you become successful. You know what I'm saying? Pushing the battery in your back and making you be the person that you need to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm one to tell you right now, sometimes, I've made bad decisions in my life, but, I overcame those decisions because I put the right people in my life, and the right people came in my life. You know what I'm saying? So that's important. These people that you want into your life, you want people to add to your life, not take from your life. You know what I'm saying? When you look at those type of things like that, what are people that come into your life? Sometimes people come into your life for a season. And if they come into your life for a season, that means that they only there to do one thing. Is it to help you grow or to tear you down? You understand? You got to look at those type of things. And that's important how, you put the right pieces in your life. Well, I don't say you allow the certain pieces to come into your life, because everybody's not meant to stay in life forever. You know what I'm saying? They just hit there for a season to just give you something, whether it's for you to learn something, whether it's positive or negative. But you also got to be willing to, through the negative, you got to be willing to grow, not just stay in your misery, not stay in, your hurtness, your misery. You got to be willing to grow. And how are you going to grow if you don't acknowledge that, you know, I didn't do this well, so let me work on that. You know, let me work on how I talk to people. Let me work on my response. Because somebody made you mad, you want to get upset, and now you want to curse them out. You want to spaz out on them. No, you got no. See, these are the things that come with success. Because just because somebody make you mad doesn't mean that you got to react in a negative way. You just gotta, that's how they say, woosah, woosah, and then think. Don't think with emotion. Think with your mind. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, when people get upset and get mad, they think with their emotions. They don't think with a level head. You know what I'm saying? Because they upset, they hot. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, "How do you do it?" It's so many things that that I do to keep me in a place where I won't react, based on my emotions, based on my feelings. You know what I'm saying? I always, my first response is the consequence. My response has a consequence. So am I willing to deal with the consequence that comes with my action, my reaction? So that's what I really like to think about, how I handle my, situations or my issues sometimes. I'm real, like, I got tough skin. People could say what they want, to me. And, as long as they put their hands on me, that's something different because now they're looking to harm me. But words, sometimes words for some people, it can be, like a sword or a knife, and it could cut you deep. See, I got tough skin. I excuse me. I really don't let what words say bother me. But some other people can. It can be offensive. It can be hurting. And also not just hurting. It also can, ruin a person's um, how can I say it? Self esteem, shall I say? You know what I'm saying? I was looking for the right word to say. They self esteem. It can tear you apart. You know what I'm saying? Especially your loved ones, especially your friends that you cherish, or someone you really like thought they was your best friend or something like that. These are the things you got to be mindful. When you're looking for change, and change is important because you know uh, when you change, you're always looking to be positive. You're not looking to be negative. You know what I'm saying? You're looking to be better, a better dresser, a better communicator, a better person to save money, a better financial planner, a better, how can I say it? A better father, a better moms. You know what I mean? Uh, all right, guys. Well, my guest just came in, L Boogie. He just joined us. So I just want to, bring him up to speed. We talk about change, L Boog, and how change is detrimental to our lives. You know what I'm saying? And I said, and I was telling, the people that change comes with success and failures. So how do you let your failures keep you down and not help you be successful? You know what I'm saying? Because see, sometimes people get into they see their failures and then it brings their self esteem down. It brings their morale down, and now they don't want to do it anymore. So now they into this place of aggravation, frustration, and now that negative attitude that they take on, it puts them in a place of, you know, suffering, pain, you know, misery. And we're talking about change because change, you can have failures and still be successful from those failures. So, that's what we're talking about today, change, how important it is to make changes to be a better person. So, since you just came on, I want to ask you a question. In your failures, have you learned from, and I say failures not to be in a negative no a negative place, is that we all have failures. So in your failures, and you don't have to that's if you choose to tell the people where you feel like you failed here, but then you learn from it and then you became a better person. You know what I'm saying? So can you tell us, far as some of the failures that you had, and you overcame those failures, and now you became successful in those failures that you encounter with?
Yeah, salute, Chef Dennis. How you doing, brother? Yeah, I appreciate you
um
having me on the panel. Most definitely.
yes, brother.
Um, yeah, man. I'll expound on this, right? So, I made a. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yes, I can hear you, brother. I can hear you
All right,
real good.
all right, cool. So, I made a channel called Endeavor TV. Now, the word
Okay.
endeavor means to achieve a goal, something of that nature, right? So, what I will say is, man, I've had many of failures, right? I've
Right.
had many of failures in life where I had to look myself in the mirror, even if I had to, you know, reflect on some decisions I've made, mistakes, and procrastination.
Okay.
And what that did, what it did for me was to help me realize that everything isn't uh everything I had to endure in life allowed me to realize that you're meant to go through these lessons. I call them lessons. You know what I mean? I've had to learn lessons in life. You know, people say take L's and turn them into lessons. You know what I mean? So the change came for me in my life when I let's just say, man, when I and we spoke about this before, but yes, having children. Because before those children, I was making a lot of bad decisions and I didn't feel as if I was going to pay for them, no repercussions for my actions.
Right.
Whether that had been smoking weed, for example, because weed put me in a state of mind to be lazy, procrastinate and never getting anything achieved. And, just ultimately putting other things behind me opposed to putting it in front of me, facing it and making sure that, the outcome was beautiful.
All right. So, being that you said that, I'll give you an example, so you can expound on it even more.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. All right. So, for me, I was when I first started at my job, I was 30 years old. I'm 47, 17
Mm-hmm.
years, right? And see, and respectfully, I respect everybody's faith and belief. So I'm talking about me per se, just to be an encouragement to somebody else. When you look at your life and you look at where you came from and how you got to the place you are today. So, with that being said, for me, when I started at my job, y'all was 30 years old. Everybody at my job was a little older than me. So I'm full of energy. I'm wilding now. I'm still a little wild. You know what I'm saying? Still rough around the edges. So I was like a ticking bomb. Boom! Like what you say? What's up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the point that I'm making, before I did a transitional change, I'm a man of God. I was going to church. I was doing the things that I'm supposed to do. Doesn't mean that that mean I wasn't getting mad and blowing up on people. But what God wanted me to understand is, before I moved to the next chapter in my life and moving into the morning, I had to learn how to be humble. See, I wasn't humble before. And so there were there were things that I had to learn how to become humble, thinking I know everything, thinking I was always right. So God put me the right people around me at that particular time. I stayed in the nighttime for about a year and a half. So there were people that I was working with, and they would say that to me, and then I had to encounter with those people, and those same people helped me get in the morning time. But what my lesson was, being humble, not thinking I know everything, not being argumentative. See, I realized as I grew and as I, you know, experienced those things, I realized that, you know what, I had to learn how to be humble. And humbleness is not easy. Sometimes when you want to say something to somebody, you can't. You got to be humble enough not to say it. Just listen. Sometimes let them think they know what they talk about, but you're just listening. You know that they're not right, but you have to show them, humbleness. And that was one thing that I had to overcome and learn how to be humble. Some people may say I'm not, but I really am, because look, some things are said to me and I'll be like, I look the other way. You know, I turn the they say turn the other cheek. I really do, because I'm a whole different animal when you put your hands on me, and anybody should. Before you put your hands on me, I'm telling people, I'm warning you, do not put your hands on me. You can say whatever you want. You can say, I hope your mother die. Okay, so cool. Everybody not like that, but see, that's how you know I'm humble enough to say, okay, and I know, and I'm built differently. Everybody's built different. You know what I'm saying? Some people, you say that to somebody, they going off on the deep end. You know what I'm saying? They might trip out. You don't want to go get a gun and wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Not me. It's like, because guess what? Like I said earlier, in speaking to the people, for every action, there's a reaction. And in that reaction, there's a repercussion. Some people do not think about the repercussions that may occur in your actions. Because are you thinking with a level head? Are you thinking with emotions? And when you think with emotions, you're not thinking with a level head. You just reacting on how you feel at the moment. And that's why, they say you know, in the Bible about the tongue being poisonous. You know what I'm saying? It can be poisonous to people and it can hurt you. Some people, it can hurt you. When you be, verbal abusive is just as bad as physical abuse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just as bad. Whether it's a woman, whether it's a, a, a man, it doesn't make a difference. It is it's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about that, you got to look at all of situations, and you got to. Some people are not mature enough for that. Especially this young generation. They ready to go get a gun and say, "What would you say?" Blah blah blah. But they not looking at the consequences. They're not looking at the repercussions. They're not thinking at that moment. You know what I'm saying? And for me, when I speak about this, you got to think about this. Listen, their leadership, who they looking up to, their role models. If it's a rapper, they look at these rappers that's singing about different things. This our young generation looking at this and thinking those are role models, thinking that they're talking positive. I'm not saying all of them are negative, but there are some that's negative, and that's the generation, and they're looking at these things and they thinking that's excuse me, that's a life. That's a lifestyle. No, it's not, because it has repercussions. It has consequences. You know what I'm saying? And how you speak to others has a consequence. You know what I'm saying? Then you make this image of how it's supposed to be, how we supposed to be as black people. You know, we all supposed to use foul language and tell you suck this and F you and all. No, we not. That's not. But guess what? That's how some of the images that's being portrayed for some of the black people that's how we supposed to be. That's how we all are. You know what I'm saying? And that's not true. That's not the case. But we have to change that. And that's what I'm talking about change. We still can make changes. Change, it depends on the individual. You know what I'm saying? It is important to change. We could change the dynamics of how the world see us. You know what I'm saying? As a black man. Because at the end of the day, there's so many images of what a black man is supposed to be. Right?
Right.
Right, boo? And
Yes,
and
sir.
and we not good fathers, we not good men. No, no. Look. Yeah, we look at statistics and we say some of the good men are in prison. Listen, some deserve to be there, some don't. But see, when you look at power and you look at their circumstance and their situation, we don't know their situation. We don't know their circumstance, but they got there for somehow, some way they got there. Whether it was their reaction, whether it was their response, but you got to look at those type of things too. You know what I'm saying? Some people that's in prison do not deserve to be in prison. Some of them in there for the wrong reason, and because the person who made that decision to say you're going to have 15 years for something that's so small. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it starts at. We have to teach our young generation how to make life goals, life changes. You know what I'm saying? A positive. You got to put people in their life, or allow people that's positive, uplifting in their lives. You know what I'm saying? And not these, rappers with all this money, and because trust me, and look, a lot of them not living in truth. They doing a lot of fake stuff, but you won't know that until you experience it and you see it for yourself. Some of the chains they wearing, it's not theirs. They're renting them, but they make it look good for the eye. So what did they do? Somebody said to me the other day, sex sells. Yeah. What does it do? It builds an appetite for the man and say, she look good. She got this nice lipstick on, nice dress. But guess what? Some of these women wearing these dresses and they got these bodysuits holding it all together. You know what I'm saying? It's not being real. So a lot of people out here, and I ain't talking about a small portion. A lot of people out here living fake lives. So how do we encourage other people to just be themselves, change in a positive and successful way?
Okay. Um, Man, it takes years and years and years of practice and maturity and perseverance. A lot of people lose their integrity. They don't move with a purpose or a cause. They don't stand on anything. That's where a lot of people are, you know, lost. They've lost in that manner. They they don't see it they don't see it valuable, to their cause. They only see they only want to benefit from things um that sounds enriching, like you mentioned. People look at stuff and they think this is the life for me. This is what I'm, intending on getting and having. That change only comes once, like you said, once it's in front of you and you have to accept it. Like you say, you have to humble yourself. I think a lot of people have issues within themselves. What's the word? Security, pride, ego. And sometimes they can be misled by those things, which allows them to see the world in a deceitful manner.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, the key word you said, deceitful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you look at, let's talk about that word deceitful. What good comes out of being deceitful? Now, there's so many other people have so many different things to say about the word deceitful. But what good comes out of deceitful? Can can you tell me anything that's good that comes out of deceitful?
Well, just if I would to be an advocate, playing devil's advocate, some people think, like lying to a person, they're uh, withholding the truth from them, so they feel as if they'll never have to tell the truth. Some people may have a moment where they may have stolen something from someone, and they, you know, they may feel as if they came up on something because they got away with the robbery or with the thievery, you know.
So they took something. In other words, you said they took something.
Yeah, of course, being deceit, lying, stealing, cheating. People think that they're protecting themselves by doing that.
And when
Their
they
their
do that, yeah, I'm sorry.
their
Yeah.
their their true image is not being exposed. Some people go their whole lives lying about a situation or an issue, and never bringing it to the forefront. Never attempting to make that change. I had a conversation with a friend of mine one time years ago, um, and he had a realization with me, and I explained to him why we couldn't be friends if I didn't see any change within him. You know, um, like, hey man, I've been down for some of the stuff we was kids, we was teenagers, but as you continue to grow and mature and get older, you have to find yourself in a place where you have to tell yourself the truth. You can no longer deceive the public. You have to have a realization with yourself and with your friends and family, your associates, your comrades, to let them know, hey, I'm no longer this person. And then you have to prove it to them, because they have seen you in a deceitful way. You have deceived them in the past. You may have, and so um once that is addressed, then yes, the attempt to change can come from that. So a person can, once again, they can be that type of negative entity, but as long as they don't take accountability for it or accept it for what it is, majority of the time. But if you don't keep it real with yourself, then you'll never attempt to change.
Mm-hmm. Look, so let me. All right. So here, I'm gonna give you a scenario, right? So you got two people, right? They blaming each other about a circumstance. This is like saying, if you did this, this would have been, this would have happened, and vice versa. So they going back and forth and saying, if you did this better. But what I said to them is that don't look at what the other person did. Look what you did. You know what I'm saying? Could you have made things better? You know what I'm saying? Could you change the outcome of the situation? Sometimes people don't see that, you know what I'm saying? And they don't see the importance of, what did I do to cause all of this? Nobody's perfect. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. So in every situation, there is something that you as the individual can do to make it better. You have to strive to do your part to the fullest and to your best knowledge to make the outcome a positive, successful, and trying to do what you feel like is right. But when you have a mindset that's saying, what, I'm the boss, this is where it's going to be, then you're going to have a different outcome. You're not going to be open-minded and not going to be, what I'm saying, understanding, like, look, what, let me make this thing better, because you want it to be successful. You want it to be prosperous. You understand what I'm saying? And the two people, they bumped heads, and they separated. And when they separated, I'm saying, they really don't talk too much. But if they really truly looked at the whole circumstance, both of them was wrong. Both parties was wrong. You understand what I'm saying? And being that they both were wrong, what I'm saying, one person realized that they messed up. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, he made some bad decisions, and he left it there, but he never got a chance to tell the other person, what was the case. But that person didn't want to really hear it. I told him they don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? They wrestling with their own demons. They wrestling with their own issues. You know what I'm saying? And that's why tonight we talk about change, because people got to understand. Listen, how can you live on this earth and thinking that the life that you're living it doesn't cause for change? You want more money? You got to do more things to get more money. You think somebody's going to lay $10,000, $30,000, $50,000 in your lap? Nah. If you want that, you got to work hard to get it. You know what I'm saying? And that requires change. You ain't gonna just sit in your tush and thinking somebody is going to hand you something. No, it requires change. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes change requires sacrifice.
Yeah, the most interesting thing about the monetary system in America being a capitalist state, people 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 never put in a plan. So I'll use an example. So yes, people like to sell drugs, right, in our community. A lot of African American men grew up selling drugs, whether it be marijuana, harder drugs, etc. Um, Instead of taking those same abilities that they have as a drug dealer in the streets and applying it to a legal business system and learning the functions of a LLC or S corp, a C corp, they never attempt to transition from that lifestyle, and they end up behind bars or end up dead. um that's how my father was. My father was a, a drug dealer, but my father also attempted to make that change and become a legitimate businessman. And unfortunately, he lost his life before that, before that got off of the ground, because he did it, but it didn't get off of the ground. So that's a prime example for a change in a man's life. And also, we're given intuition and all of these senses for a reason. You know, why are we steering away from our senses of that gut feeling, or that devil on the shoulder, or that angel on the shoulder, which is your basically your subconscious and your conscious? Why do we steer away from the things that tell us, hey, go the other way, do turn that cheek? Or why do we continue to surround ourselves with people that aren't attempting to make any changes? Why don't we get around mentors and men who have structured their lives to be successful, opposed to hanging with the people that don't want to change? Why do we always say, you know what, I'm gonna ride for this person, but this person ain't never attempted to give you any positive outlook on life? And friendship is friendship, but that friendship can sink very fast growing up, maturing as a man, if you're not keeping it real with each other and saying, you know what, bro, we need to go this way with this, or we need to figure out how we could do this legitimately. Let's separate for a moment. Let's go talk to some people that's gonna mentor us in a positive light, because we're already fighting these capitalistic battles within America.
Somebody said a book. Somebody said a life without change is not life. That's a good way to look at it and say it too and state it. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm going to say, I'm going, piggyback off what Brother Black said. He said a life without change is not life. Just think about this. Listen, when you look at the seasons, right? They all have a purpose. And when the season change, it's for a beneficial for us on this earth, right?
Right.
Okay, and so that's why it's important to implement change in your life. Implementing change in your life is growth. It shows growth. You know what I'm saying? But when you're not trying to make changes, you're going to stay in the same places that you are from 2000 to 2010. You got to look at your life and say, in 2010, I did this. In 2020, I did this. I gained. I didn't lose. So that's what you want to look at. You want to look at the things that in your life, have you overcome and your changes, because like we all saying the same thing. Change is important. You know what I'm saying? It shows like I said, when you have children and your children look to you as a role model, and they look at you and they say, man, look at my dad. I remember my dad was working 20 hours, 30 hours. Now look at him. He has made it to a level where he only have to work 6 hours, and he's still, man, making us happy, providing for us. I really appreciate you, Dad. You my role model. You know what I'm saying? And look, that's part of communication. Teaching our children how to communicate that, how to talk to one another. You know what I'm saying? You don't really hear that too often. It's because we don't really teach that. You know what I'm saying? We teach what we feel like they supposed to learn, but that is important, man. Being able to tell your parents, you know what I'm saying, that, I appreciate you, Dad. Not saying all men don't do that, but that is truly important to say, you know what? Without you, I wouldn't be the man I am today. Whether it's good or bad. But guess what? If there's bad and you learn from that bad experience with mom, dad, or whatever, guess what? It made you stronger. If you let it, it'll make you stronger. It won't make you weaker. Sometimes we go through things, like you said earlier, Bull. Sometimes we go through things to make us stronger, to make us better. I'm 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 that person. Some of the things that I encountered in my life, I wish I could turn back a hand's time. but I can't. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I am the man I am today. I'm looking to do better every day. You know, some people laugh at me. They say, "Oh, you this and you that." But I can tell you one thing. One thing about me, I ain't fake. I will never that's a part of me. I would never be fake. I could care less. I'm not being fake. I'm gonna be me to the day I die. God made me this way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna love on you if you allow me to love on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be that way. You know what I mean? I'm not going that. You know, some people don't like that. Some people, I got this one guy, man. I tell you, he a tall guy, right? And but he's like, he really don't, like hugging. But I try to hear it. I try to give him a hug because I want him to know that, yo, bro, it's okay. I'm not that way, but you know what? When I say I love you, I want you to know that I mean it. You know what I'm saying? I mean what I say. You know what I'm saying? Some people tell you, oh, I love you. If you need anything, let me know. Don't tell me. I mean, not me per se, but some people don't want to hear that. Tell me, oh, if you need me, just call me. Nah, you're not being genuine. Be genuine when you say that. Because when they look for that helping hand and you say, oh, I'm busy, oh, I can't do this. Hey, that's not what you told them. You told them, listen, whenever you need me, just call me. Nah, people should stop saying that because that right there can make people go in depression. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
It can make them
Yeah.
go in depression. You told me you gonna be there for me. I need you. Now you're not there. Nah. I see. I spoke on that. That's what I spoke on a couple of weeks ago about loyalty and respect. You know what I'm saying? These things like that, man, is important. Your relationships with people is important. Some people say, you know what? I want you in my life. I don't want you in my life. That's cool. I tell anybody, I encourage you. If the person that you have in your circle, they're not uplifting you, they're not pushing you, they're not encouraging you, you need to rethink and reposition yourself and say, this person, they whoever it may be, because they're not encouraging you, they're not uplifting you. They should be doing that. They should be encouraging you. They should be uplifting you, trying to push you to be the best you can be. But if they're not doing that, you gotta say to yourself, man, why are they in my life? Why are they in my life? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you gotta look at that. You gotta really look at yourself and say, why is this person in my life? Even if it's family members, you gotta say that. Why are they in my life? Has God put them in my life, or am I forcing them to be in my life? Now, some people just don't want to be bothered, and you gotta respect that. You gotta be like, all right, cool. You want to live your life, I'm gonna live mine. That's cool. You know what I mean? That's all right. You know what I'm saying? I was just talking to somebody, and hey, Boogs, I don't know. Like I said, I always when I say things, I always say it to in love and truth, and not to discourage anybody. I say it to encourage. And when I first got into God, worshiping and praising God, right? It was something inside of me that there was a joy that I just wanted to give everybody. I was young, so when I got into Christ, into church and religion, I was brought up in it. I was raised in it, right? But when I really got the Holy Spirit, like got into in me, listen, it was something about me that no matter what, I just wanted to tell the world. I wanted to talk about it. But I had to learn how to approach people with the word of God, how to talk to them about the word of God, you know what I'm saying? And how to encourage them about God, you know what I'm saying? And everybody has a different, concept, perception of what they believe, and you got to respect that. But see, you got to be able to, talk to them on a level they can understand what you mean about the love of God or the love, because it's Christ is nothing but joy, you know, peace, happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like look, I told you earlier, it takes a lot to get me upset. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot. And why? Because like I said, I go back to the consequences of my actions. So I look back and some of the consequences that I encountered with the actions that I did, it was detrimental to my life at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? I went through some stuff, you know, was was mind-boggling if I told you. You know what I'm saying? I'm transparent and I'm open to because I want people to grow. I want people to change. I want them to understand that look, life ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta make tough decisions. You know, I was homeless one time. You would never think that. I was. And see, some people be like, oh, homeless. Homeless is not having a place to stay. That's homeless. You know, sleeping in different places. That's homeless. See, but as I grew, as I got stronger, I realized the decisions that I was making was not the right decisions. So I encountered those things based on my decision making, based on my emotions. And that's why I said change is important. You know, first you got to acknowledge that the things that you're doing or your decision making is wrong. It's not prosperous, you know, and that's what change will do. You know what I'm saying? It will teach you how to become a better person. You know what I'm saying? You know, Boogs, you're younger, right? And so your task as a young parent is a little different than mine. Excuse me, than mine was. So we sit here and we talking, and you know, one of my topics that's going to be on here, you know, on a later date is going to be the DNA of a leader. You know, that is something that is going to be a big topic because there is a lot of things that men don't understand and need to know how to become not just the head of household, how to be a leader, because our children look to us for advice, especially if you're going to give them a good advice, the advice that even the advice that they don't want to hear, but they can receive it and say, you know what, mom and dad really know what they talk about, and I get it. I know they want the best for me, but that comes with repetition. That comes with constantly drilling it in them. You know what I'm saying? Bzzz, bzzz, drilling it in them, and say, and once you hear it over and over and over, it, it becomes a constant. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm first to tell people, I didn't do that. I didn't. When I say drill it, not drill it in forced drill. You know what I'm saying? I use the drill, right? When you put the when you drilling something, if you force it into the wall, you can break the screw. So you got drilling something calls for easy. It's got to go in there smooth. You know what I'm saying? If it's not going in smooth, then you can break. Go ahead, Boog. I see you wanted to chime in.
Oh no, I was just gonna agree with you. Yeah, you're right. You know,
Yeah,
you
you know what I'm
definitely,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
So and that's the same thing with speaking to our children. We have we have to drill it into them, right? But
Right.
we have to do it in a way so they can receive it. You know what I'm saying? And you got and some parents right now to this day, you know what they do? They think the old ways is going to be implemented in the new way, the new generation. Now you got to learn how to cope. You got to learn how to deal with this generation. Even your children, if you're having children now, you got to learn how. You got to learn how to feed their spirit. You know, feed them mentally, spiritually. You got to feed them that. And I say feed it, I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about, how you talk to them, actions, what they watch on TV. Look at these things. Some parents don't let their children watch anything on TV. They have hidden messages. And guess what? That will mess our children up. Mess them up. We got, and that's the key thing. You got to understand what we are doing to help our children become successful or even be in the right mindset to be successful. You know what I'm saying? And look, even now for me, I have two older kids now, two older girls, and listen, they both very much different. You know, did I always do the right thing? No, I didn't. My dad used to say, "Oh, you let Imani get away with a lot." I kind of did, right? But on the flip side of that is that I could tell you this: there were some things that Imani learned. That's my daughter, my youngest one. My oldest one is Jalen, right?
Hmm.
There are some things that Imani learned from me, and then there's some things she didn't, right? But I could tell you this: one thing about my daughter is that she know how to respect, and that to me that shows a lot, uh, not just to me, to adults. You know what I'm saying? And that's big, because you know, me and her moms, we were together and married, and then we separated. We got a divorce. But guess what? That's one thing that I can say about my child, and it's big. That goes a long way because she know how to carry herself when she conducting business, when she conducting, a conversation with someone that's older than her, and not just be sassy, not just cursing and call them all type of names. Some of these young kids they don't have a decent vocabulary. They just be like blah, blah, blah whatever, and it's you can't even have a conversation with them because they cursing and doing all this type of up the wall stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, most definitely.
and I know you're a young parent, and see, I don't. When it comes to you parenting, I really don't know. So, but these are the things that you gotta look out for. You know what I'm saying? What our children watch on TV, and how detrimental it is for our children to watch certain things on TV. That's going to be beneficial to their mind. That's going to be something that's going to uplift their spirit. I ain't talking about they gotta watch gospel music and all that stuff. It's other things that they can watch. You know what I'm saying? Learn different things. At a small age, they can have an idea what they want to be when they grow up. That's possible. You know what I'm saying? They don't teach Black history in the schools no more. So there's things that they're not being taught because they want that history of ours to be pushed away. You know what I'm saying? They don't want us to know certain things because if knowledge is the key to success. You do know that, right? Knowledge is the key to success. When you know what you know, and when you know what it is to be successful, you have the starting key of success.
Right.
And you got to put the work in. You got to be dedicated. You know what I'm saying? And I like to speak things in a life. I get speak things in existence. Try to give it life. I try to do those type of things. It's not as easy because when life hits you, you be like, oh man, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta do that. I gotta do this, and then you fall short. But you gotta get back up and keep pressing. You gotta keep pressing. You can't stop. You gotta keep going. You know. Um, you want to say something, Bug?
Yeah. I think when it comes to children as well, the crowds are extremely mixed now. In regards to like the message that they're pushing amongst each other as peers. It's not cool to be a. It's not really cool to be a bully anymore. Growing up in earlier eras, there were a lot of bullying going on in school. People look towards being negative amongst their peers, and fighting and that sort of nature. School is doing its best to get away from that kind of stuff. And you can hear it within the kids too. Of course, there's always going to be some kids who just they're enticed they're enticed by going in a negative direction. But some kids they not really on that no more, and that's a good thing. That's enlightening to see. You even with the internet, it's not cool to bash a person on the internet. People find so many different ways to correct you in the comments, man. It's sick. It's funny. It's a cool thing to see. Um, check out the comments sometimes when people be talking. Like if you watch a video or something like that, and somebody come with some negative conversation, man, a lot of people find they call it trolling nowadays, but a lot of people find ways to shame that person for being shameful. You have to find a way to shame the shameful. And I, hats off to them people. Salute. You know what I mean? I respect that tremendously, because it deters people from wanting to be positive and to speak life into situations. When you're continuously giving them something negative to look at and praise. I know I've been hearing I've been watching a lot of NBA YoungBoy's content or seeing stuff that he says on the internet, and I'm actually, proud to hear him speak in the way that he does speak some of the times, because he understands how big of a role he plays in the society of the African American child. He realizes that he's made some mistakes, he said some things, and he's owning up to some of it, and he's speaking to the kids in the best possible manner because he know they're listening. They're waiting to hear him say something. And so when the microphones and the cameras are put in front of him, he's not too quick to address the negativity anymore. He understands that he's maturing. He has his own children. And so once again, he's attempting to change that narrative, that negative persona that they've placed on him. He knows that sells records, but he also understands that if he gets a moment to say something positive, he's going to do that.
Okay. And long, like positive is always good, right?
Yeah, I mean, because once again, and I did a live on this earlier, but it seems more popular for people to be negative amongst each other, amongst the adults now, because that's what they've been raised on, being chatty with amongst each other, lying and being deceitful amongst each other, but it's coming to a point of realization that we do have a choice, to make things better for at least for each other. If like, why are we not doing that? I heard I watched Cam and Mace today. It is what it is, and they spoke on so blacks getting along now. That shit is cool. That's how it should be out here. Like, black people, African American, indigenous, whatever they prefer to call themselves, Pan African, they have to learn how to get along. They have to learn how, if you're going to do content, if you're going to be out here entertaining people on the internet, make sure that it's that. But, try to stay away from running plays and speaking to each other in a negative light, because people are watching, and based on perception, they're able to use that in their everyday lives. You know what I mean?
Yes, my bad. I'm trying to put put something else out there right now on my social media.
What you streaming this on right now?
This on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of the YouTube listeners. How y'all doing out there? You mind if I do my shameless plug real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. It's your boy L Boogie CLT, man. Hit the like button first of all. Subscribe to Mr. Chef Dennis. Turn your notification bells on. And if you don't mind going over to my channel, L Boogie CLT. That's my handle, but the channel is just L space Boogie, and follow that channel. I just did a stream today. Hit the like button on that. Yeah, we in here.
Yeah. You know how we do, man. I'm trying to this thing. I don't know how to do this, bro.
Change is good though, man, and that's the only thing that we should be looking forward to, is changing something. Why are you running away? You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be, especially if you got the opportunity to change it, and it's gonna be beneficial to you and your family, man. Make that take that next step and get it popping in your life.
Come join us at YouTube. Chef Dennis 32. Well, that's at Chef Dennis dash 32. Come join us. We on YouTube, man. We got a great conversation. Come on through. Yeah, I was putting this out there too.
Yeah, definitely got to do your sharing links
Yeah.
and stuff so people know where you at.
Yeah, right.
Cause you,
Yeah.
cause you definitely get, and that's what I was about to say too, bro. You definitely got a large crowd on Facebook. So if you're streaming on Facebook,
Yeah.
what you could do is save this video and then just post it to YouTube and make shorts with it too.
Nah, I actually do. I do have so what happens is I'm gonna tell you how it works. All right, so in YouTube, right? When you got a YouTube, you got videos. So you can take those videos and you can put it on Facebook. You download it to Facebook. So that's what I do. But it goes through StreamYard. It don't go through from YouTube. It goes from StreamYard. So this the platform that I'm using, StreamYard. So you could do that with StreamYard. You send it to different platforms that you want it to be seen on. So that's what I do. So what I do is I stream it live on, because this is a bigger platform, on YouTube, right? And so it goes through my library in StreamYard. And from StreamYard, I take it and I send it to my Instagram, my excuse me, my TikTok, and my Facebook.
Oh,
But
okay.
Instagram and Facebook, Instagram and TikTok is too long, so it won't go on that social media. It won't go on that because it'd be like an hour. That it's got to download, so they don't even do that. It's got like I got to make a short out of it. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
working on
Just do
that. You
some
know what I'm saying?
highlights.
Yeah,
And
that's what I do.
like remember I told you that before, man. Even if you got to say something to go to catch the attention of people, that's what you make your short out of. You know what I mean? I ain't saying you gotta be outlandish with it, but of
No, I
course,
got you.
heck, yeah, most definitely. Because people
So
people definitely need this content, man. It's a lot of other content being pushed out here, but this is the most insightful content, and I think people need to understand that you coming from an amazingly positive space, and that's commendable, straight up.
and I appreciate that, and I receive that, and that's all that's all I'm pushing, man. I got some pastors coming through, and talk about the word of God, and some people ain't going listen. I got people around me that don't believe the same thing I believe. But do you think I get into arguments with them or debates with them? No. You know what I show them? I show them love. I show them peace. I show them compassion. Even sometimes, in the midst of me sharing that with them and talking with them, I know without a shadow of doubt they watching me. Wait until I do something that goes against everything I'm supposed to stand for. They watch, but I don't. I've been honest, like I've done that a long time ago, so I'm mindful what I say, how I say it. I don't. Man, listen, I love my wife, and I ain't always doing the right thing that she like. Not, we don't argue. I don't do the arguing thing. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's nothing to argue about. My grandmother, you know, used to say to me, "Why get mad about something you got no control over?
Mm-hmm.
You getting upset about something you cannot control." How here's something real touchy for most parents. You go to school, your kid get slapped by one, beat up by another kid. We go in there, we get upset, we get mad, we go in there raging. Oh, why this guy? Oh, right. Now you
Right.
go home. Now you go home. You upset. You mad. Oh, okay. You getting mad. You getting upset over something you had no control over. What can you do? Nothing. It's done. It's over with. Why still stay mad? Why still stay upset? For what? You know what I'm saying? Think about that
Yeah.
logic. People get upset about something they can't control. Because if you could control it, you wouldn't be upset. You wouldn't be mad. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be upset. So why? But that's hey, why say why, right? But that's the world we live in. That's what happens. People don't see like I'm gonna stress this out. If I don't say anything else to make people understand that, every action, there's a reaction. And there's a consequence based on your actions. So please, I encourage you, do not just act on emotions. It's something that doesn't happen overnight. You got to work at that. I had to work at that, man. When I was a kid, Bugs, I got in so many fights with everybody, family, friends, school. I stayed fighting. Everything. I did karate, wrestle, I stayed fighting. Because I was just like, what? I'm ready to jump all over you. Da da da. And now I'm older, more wiser. I'm like, listen, I ain't even think about fighting. I'm trying to talk my way out of it. Hey, listen, bro, I'm sorry. I stepped in your sneakers. My bad, dog. Hey, call me punk when you want to, but I know daggone sure I'm not that. So, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to I'm trying to live in peace. I ain't trying to be worried about somebody going to get a gun and shoot me and all that type of stuff. Hey, how you doing? All right. What's up, bro? That's it. I'm just trying to, some people say, "Dang, man, I go anywhere," but I've been a lot of places, and by myself, and I never got into altercation. I get into no fights, none of that by myself, and I meet people that I don't even know, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up? How y'all doing?" Da da da. You know what I'm saying? And I'm chilling. I'm just doing, what I'm saying, what I need to do. I'm not even, looking to fight or anything. It's like, oh, I fit right in, with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I fit in. Not and I'm not a how can I say it? I'm not a people's pleaser either. So that's not me. I fit in where I fit in. If it's a place, what I'm saying, that I can relate to, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna have a good time. And if you don't know me, and if you want to, you get to know me, and you be like, yo, I like this guy. He's cool. You know, I met a lot of people on a game on a game. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my boy Barbara Wood. That's my boy. Uncle, your uncle.
Yeah. Shout out,
Just
Unc.
just on the game alone. You know what I'm saying? This dude, we played the game for years, y'all, for years. And look, this just show you like proof in the pudding. We've been on the game for years, and we went to a football game this year or last year, 49ers in Jacksonville. Never met each other, never seen each other, but because of how I talk, how I carry myself on the game, and how I, interact with him. Yo, this ain't look. I'm married. He married. Well, he got his lady. Listen, this how close we grew. You know what I'm saying? And it's just to show you the type of person I am. But we call each other every day. I call
Word.
I call look, I call Wood more than I call my brothers. And I got 5 of them.
Yeah, it be
But
like that.
but 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 the crazy part is this is that it's just because we be laughing, we having a good time, we on a game, kicking butt. He beat me, I beat him. It just be having so much fun. And that's on our everyday life. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to share that with y'all because guess what? That's how I am. You know what I'm saying? When people meet me, sometimes they be like, I don't know about this guy. But then once they get to meet me, they be like, yo, this guy, man, he a big old teddy bear. He ain't gonna hurt nobody. Yeah, that's it. A big teddy bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot
Hug.
of us are compassionate, and a lot of African American men are compassionate. It'd be the situations where um once again somebody may have not been able to get that type of reception from someone. They may have never received it in that manner. So shout out to you for that, bro. That's once again that's a commendable deed, because
Yeah.
you're able to um you're able to make friends just based on how you present yourself, and you're able to also decipher whether or not that person has that same intent, that same type of energy, you know.
No doubt, Nick. No doubt, bro. One of the guys said thanks for the show.
Yeah, salute Nicholas Simmons.
Yeah, oh, you
He's
see it?
definitely supporting. Yeah, y'all can see the chat.
Yeah, yo, man, me and him been friends. We look, we was friends. We used to work together. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Since we talking about that, I'm proud of him, man. This guy that moved over to Michigan, man. Was over from Jersey, was traveling here in the military. He doing big
Mm.
things. Shout out to Nicholas Simmons, boy. All right, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's and look, and he's a very religious man. You know what I'm saying? Good, if a man of faith. You know, man, integrity. You have a beautiful family. And man, listen, if I could tell you some of the stories, and it's not that bad. It's just the to how he got to. I see him how he got to where he at today. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'm like I said, when I see brothers, I always let them know that, man, I'm so glad that they were a part of my life, still part of my life, because I gotta make my trip over there, man, to go check him out. You know what I'm saying? Him and his family. I can't
Let
I
me
can't
ask.
wait. Yeah.
Oh no, my fault. My fault. My fault.
What's up? What's talking to me?
When I was just gonna ask you, man, do you feel as if you're appeasing a crowd that already understands what you're saying, or do you feel like you need to reach out and touch the ones who are not receiving that message?
All
Like,
right. Yeah. Yeah. Keep
yeah,
continuing.
yeah, I want to hear your response to that.
All right. So right now it's a process.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So what the process is, the audience that I have right now is like family, friends, and and then some. I actually got two new people that I don't know from YouTube. They saw my me and your um me and your first show,
Mm-hmm.
and they became friends with me.
Oh, that's dope.
They became a subscriber. Um, um, so it's two of them, and they made comments, and I reached out to them, said thank you. So YouTube has guidelines. Now I enter something else now, so now I can go into a different browser where I can not invite, I can have a bigger audience now. So this right here is just the people I know, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so once I go into a bigger room, then other people can see it, and if they like the content, they'll come in, drop a comment, and we can indulge in a conversation. I can bring them on. I have up to 10 people I can bring on at one time. So it's not that's not even the issue. And so yeah. So right now it's just getting the content, because I don't know about you, but I had to get 50 people before I even go live on YouTube. Did you know that?
If you want to do it from your phone, yeah. If you sign up and you verify your information, say you verify through your Google account, your name, your birth date, and I think your address, and then you just got to go through the required verification statuses. Because I don't have 50 subscribers yet, and I be pleading that all the time, like on the road to 50 subscribers. But you
You
can
so
stream as long as you're off your PC or your laptop.
Oh, off your yo, I don't know. Nah, for me it didn't work. Nah, they told
Well,
me I
that's
had
what I'm telling you. You probably didn't go through the verification of you have to go into YouTube Studio. And when you go into YouTube Studio, it'll prompt you to update all of your information to verify who you are. And then it will allow you to go live. But yes, since you do have the subscribers, yes, then you're allowed to just go straight in and stream.
yeah,
Whether it be on your phone or your PC.
right. I could do it on both. Um,
Yeah.
but on my gaming YouTube, I long time ago I stream on there, live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to do that, but this one I don't know. This was different. They wouldn't allow me to.
Yeah, well, you passed that now, but if
Yeah,
you start another channel, just go into YouTube Studio. Do you have that app on your phone
yeah, I do.
or your PC, YouTube Studio?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whenever you start another channel, if it doesn't prompt you, then you good. But of course, if it prompts you, just verify your personal information because
Oh
you
no.
have brand
Yeah.
you have brand accounts, and then you have I forgot the other term that they use, but you have those type of accounts too. Google has become extremely complex. Like, I'm still trying to get rid of a. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, yeah, I get you, brother.
Okay. I'm still trying to get rid of a brand account that I have with them because I got so many different YouTube channels, man. It's a process, and I don't even know if I can delete it or not. I don't know if it's my brand or if it's just a channel. I don't know, man, but they got a
All right,
lot of different paths you can take.
all right. So look, let me show you what it is. Now I got a community now, so I can start.
Hmm.
Before I couldn't do that, so I had to, like you said, I had to go to. So now I could publish and put stuff in a different like this right now. They said publish a shared image, start a caption content. See what I'm saying? I could let me see do this. So in other words, I could do this. Let me see if you can see it. I'm gonna send it to you. All right.
Have you learned how to use your share button to present your screen, share your screen? Have you learned how to do that yet?
What you mean? Like what?
Like, you're on StreamYard right now, and there's some tabs at the bottom of the screen on the StreamYard, and it says present. If you hit present, you could share your window basically, or any type of tabs that you have pulled up on your PC or laptop.
Okay. Oh
And that's
shoot.
how a lot of people do their content as well. A lot of people do that in order to show videos, audio. It's pretty interesting. You should do that. You can do that offline, of course, and you know, play around with it to see what I'm referring to. But I like StreamYard. A lot of people use StreamYard. It's becoming the biggest platform. Probably bigger than Zoom. Zoom,
Oh
Discord, StreamYard, they all work pretty good. And yes, if you pay for the service, then you have more available features,
yeah,
which I haven't done yet with StreamYard. But shout out to StreamYard.
big time. So now I'm able to do so. So excuse me. So now I'm just able to start a community. So just like on YouTube, when people scroll through it and stuff, they got Shannon Sharp, Tyler Perry, stuff like that, Tasha Cobb, live. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like go to live. You go to live, right? These are people that's on live right now.
Hmm.
So you know who Michael Todd is?
No, not familiar too much.
All right, so Mike. So one of the things that I've been listening to, right? And see, I'm just going, this is another thing, people don't like talking about, but it's big, you know what I'm saying? And so people look at some of the pastors and they say why they do certain things, you know what I'm saying? They gotta understand that they're reaching a different uh a group of people. Certain pastors are trying to reach a certain people, you know what I'm saying, to bring them to Christ, if that's their main mission. We got, just like anything, you have some people who have hidden agendas, you know what I'm saying? And you can't get on the idea of just judging them for, what you feel like is right or wrong, right? If that's not for you, it's not for you. So the reason why I'm saying that is because one of the guys that I follow, right, he was talking about Michael Todd spitting his hand and wiping it on the guy's face, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, right? and do like this to the dude on live TV. So I'm saying to myself, like he was asking what we think about that, and I said, look, nah, I don't agree to that. That's you can't say nothing about God made you do that or nothing. No, you don't do that. You can't do that. There's no
I think
analogy.
I saw that.
There's no analogy. There's no. I mean, what? No, it's not. It's no. Listen, nah. God, pull like this. Now, you think about, you know, you know, the things that Jesus did or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do stuff like that. So how can a man on this earth think he can do that and be okay with that? No, I for me, Michael Todd lost some cool points. He's still a man of God. He still, speak the word of God. And no, I don't judge him, but I say he lost some cool points for me because he can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it goes back to what I said earlier. For every action, there's a reaction.
Right.
And it calls for a consequence. You know what I'm saying? Listen, what he did to that young man, trust me, if he think that was okay, that's cool. But I promise you this, he gonna have to go through something because that's straight humility. He humiliated that man. The man let him do it, but somebody said that shows his power. No, see, and I can tell you right now if he think he that powerful that he can do that, then he gotta, he will have to go through something to learn that no, you're not that powerful to be doing that. That's not cool. You know what I mean? That's just like somebody that don't drink and he say he got wine. I'm not even gonna put that on in the atmosphere, but you understand my message. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. I think I know what you're referring to, and what I'll say about that is, um, I think that was done strictly for content. That was done to get people to talk about it, in my
No,
opinion.
no, of course it was. But my thing is this. You see, and this is gonna be one of my topics too. This is one of my topics in the future. Why people
Mhm.
stop going to church.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's one of the main topics that's going to be on the panel we're going to talk about because it's listen, church is something different
Mhm.
nowadays. And you still have people hurting people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
In that place of worship, in that place of it's supposed to be nothing but love, encouragement, enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why some of the churches are not growing, and because they don't have the full sight of what God really want them to do. You know what I'm saying? But we're not gonna get into that right now. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother topic. You know, but man, it's always a pleasure to have you, Bugs. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. We're gonna end it up. I'm hopefully, we're gonna have more people on here looking and talking to us and getting indulged in this conversation, man. So, I got some new guests coming up. I definitely want you to tune in and check out them. I got Chef Mike coming up. I got Chef Lonnie coming up. Lionel, he's coming through. I got two chefs coming up. I got an actor coming up, Steven Strickland. You know what I mean? Got to catch him when I can because he is a busy man, bro.
Man, the
Man,
food look good, man. The food look good, and yeah, I definitely just subscribed because I thought you was doing it off Facebook. That's why I asked you that question earlier. But I see you got two channels, and them. If you got more, I'll subscribe to them as well. And I turned my notifications on. That way, I'll be getting your content and coming in and supporting, hitting the
yeah.
like button.
Hey,
And
book, Dad.
yo, yeah,
I,
definitely start getting people to share your content. You know what I mean? People need to share it. So if y'all hearing this, man, don't just watch it and like it. Share it as well. Send it to other people that way that they can get the content. That way they can subscribe to the channel. That way they can support Mr. Chef Dennis, man. That way we can get this channel popping and rolling, man. Because this this is definitely something that's gonna stand the test of time, and it's gonna be on the right side of history.
True that, true that. And I was going to tell you, man, listen, just the same thing you just said about me. Hey, look, this is what I do. Look, your circle that you got your circle in, yo, you gotta sit. I do it in the look, I do it in the nights, loving way. I said, yo, man, you been checking out my podcast? They said, no, I ain't been having time. I say, let me see your phone, man. I plug it in. Blah, blah, blah. I plug it in, put it in there. You feel me? But hey, listen,
Word.
you got to do that too. I mean, look, I do, and they know they know I'm doing it in love. Like I ain't trying to be. Look, and I tell people this, they be like, "Oh, you gotta do." I said, "Look, this ain't for money. This ain't for publicity. It's like this is my heart. This is my platform. I could do what I want to do, talk about what I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But it's supposed to be encouraging, uplifting, and that's what I want to stay at. I wanted to stay there. You know what I'm saying? I had a few people like, listen, I want a panel of men up here, right? Mm-hmm. So we could talk about some of these things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody's not gonna have the same view. I got this one gentleman. Oh my goodness, man. We gonna have a good time on here. Trust me when I tell you, bro. I gotta make sure I'm gonna see if you available, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna make sure and see, I don't want this person to feel attacked. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna reveal his name because he lives a private life. But what I can say is this: I don't want him to feel attacked, but I want him to understand. See, sometimes I have a difficult way of saying something because I'm very passionate about how I feel. And I just, like I said, I just want to show the love that I had inside. So yeah. I got to tune that up a little bit. I'm working at that. You know, I got to tune it up a little bit so people can receive it and be like, oh, my goodness, man, what's wrong with this guy? But you know what? He is a peaceful man. You know what I'm saying? A lovable man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? With him, you know what I'm saying? He used a word. I don't know the word right now, but he's very, he's different. I should say that. Different in a way where he always, you know, tries to go against the grain a little bit. He's a good person though. So, like I said, hopefully you available. You can check it out. But man, listen, we're gonna have some good times on here. Summertime's coming up. I'm gonna be moving around. Hopefully I have me like a couple of guests on here live. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get a better camera. Once I get a better camera, a bigger camera, we going live. We're sitting right in a studio. I got the 3 mics already, so have like 3 guests live. So I'm working it out, man. I gotta get another headset, and it's all coming together.
Nah, keep doing your thing, brother. I commend you once again. Hats off to you too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, man. So I'll catch you soon. I'll talk to you later, brother.
All right, man. Salute, bro. Take it easy.
Peace. All right, ladies and gents, I'm out of here. It was wonderful talking with you guys. I hope you catch me. You can always check at Chef Dennis -32. You can check it there. You can see the stream. The live stream was recorded. So you guys can go there, check it. Talk to you guys soon. I'm on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6:30. I'm always on time, sharp. Ain't no lateness over here. 6:30 sharp. You know what I'm saying? And if you're interested in becoming a guest on the stage, you're welcome to contact me at my email, and that's chefdennis32@gmail.com. Signing off. Good night. Peace.